What's up, everyone? So we got a video that we've been trying to do for the past couple weeks. There's a rant that Julio wants to go on about the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady. Tampa Bay Tom Brady. Talk to us, man.
That's what I want to talk about. So do you think he's the greatest of all time?
Yeah, man.
You do?
Yeah.
You're on the greatest, Tom Brady's on the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're obviously going to disagree on the matter. Not to say that Tom, keep saying it, Tampa Bay. Not that Tom is not great, right? Like, we know how great he is. We know how clutch he is. We know all the accolades. We know he's got the 6 rings and 9 Super Bowl appearances. What drives me crazy, though, is now that he's in my division, as a Falcons fan, he's in our division. What drives me crazy is that everybody wants to keep saying GOAT and 6 rings, and that makes him the GOAT. The problem I have, and the reason I get on this rant, and I know some people know this, some people maybe talk about it just a tad, but nowhere in the media sources or media outlets does anybody really hit on it. My problem with Tom Brady is there's at least 4 Super Bowls that I can name that should have never happened.
Right.
Right? Should have never happened. And that's what, to me, just drives me crazy. And everybody seems to forget when Tom Brady get it. Now, I get it. There's plays in football. The ball's oddly shaped. We know that. It takes a couple of bounces in one team's favor and not the other team's. I get it. We can't go back and say, oh, if this would have happened differently or that would have happened differently, the game would have been different. But it does bother me when it's specific plays that definitely would have changed the outcome of the game. Not just like, oh, if this holding call wasn't made. Oh, if that pass interference wasn't made. No, I'm talking about specific things that even rules were changed because of Tom Brady, and yet we totally forget that. Number one, let's go back to 2001, his first Super Bowl, right? Oakland Raiders asked John Gruden about the tuck rule, right? The tuck rule came out of nowhere. The referees told John Gruden it was always there. John Gruden is a football nut, okay? He's a football fanatic. He's a football genius. Yeah. He had no idea the tuck rule existed up until that game, okay? Like, he had no idea. There you go. Saves Tom Brady. Yes. Does he go and finish the drive off and score? Absolutely. Vinatieri goes and hits a big-time field goal at the end of the game to win it, right? Yeah. But obviously, I have a friend who's a Patriots fan. He told me, he said, Julio, I literally had my beer in my hand. He said, I got up and I walked away from the TV because I thought the game was over. All of a sudden, I come back and the Patriots are still driving. He had no idea. It was a fumble. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, tuck rule. That's one game, right? And it's basically derailed the Raiders' championships or dynasty and started up a new one in the Patriots. That's just that one. Fast forward.
You said the key word, though, drive down the field, which I think he's a specialist at.
With no question. No question.
You know what?
No question.
You wanna beat Tom Brady and you want to make it to the Super Bowl? Beat him. Then why can't you play defense and stop him? You know what I'm saying? They got the opportunity again, but I think that was another opportunity for the Raiders to stop him and say, hey, none of this, you know what I'm saying? The ball don't lie.
You can make, which is true. You can make that argument. And I know we can go back to mental toughness or whatever, but we've all been in those situations where, and not necessarily as big as football, but where something didn't go your way. You know what I mean? You're playing hoops with your friends, you're playing volleyball, whatever, and the ball continues not to bounce your way. There's a time where just inside, you just feel that moment of like despair when you say, man, like, again?
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, the Raiders hadn't won a Super Bowl in 20 some years since Tom Flores.
Sure.
You know what I mean? They're trying to make a run back to the Super Bowl, and this happens. And yeah, was it the Patriots' first Super Bowl? They could have went the same way again? Absolutely. But here's my problem with it. It's a very deflating feeling when you thought one of those plays, which the swing momentum is humongous, right? And it goes against you, right? And here's let's go a little bit further. Yeah. A couple of years later, I think it's the 2003 NFL playoffs. We got the Indianapolis Colts at the New England Patriots. What happens in that game?
Marlon McCree.
Well, no, that was 2006, I believe. Yeah, because I was Phillip Rivers. Yeah, I was getting there.
You were getting there?
I was getting there. That's what I'm saying. I'm going chronologically.
All right.
So I'm fast forwarding over to Indianapolis Colts. There was literally the illegal contact rule was created because of the Colts-Patriots game. The Patriots defensive backs raped, I'm sorry to say that word, manhandled the Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne up and down the field that game.
Sure.
Up and down the field again. And the referees had a blind eye towards it. Did not exist. What happened after that? The NFL changed the rules and said, okay, illegal contact at the 5 yards can't happen. Why? Because they saw that there was something wrong with that game and literally was like, dude, there's no way. I mean, I remember watching that game. I think in the third quarter, I almost gave up. I'm like, no, dude, if they're going to keep calling this game like this, I can't watch it. I'm like, of course, Peyton Manning can't do what he does if his receivers are getting manhandled all the way down the field. I'm not talking about within 5 yards. I'm talking about down the field. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's one thing. Like I said, that rule was created because of that. Fast forward to yours, 2006. Marlon McCree intercepts Tom Brady on one of his famous drives. What does Marlon McCree do? Instead of going down, game over, he tries to run away from it, get stripped, Patriots recover, another deflating feeling. Chargers defense has to go right back on the field, and guess what? He capitalizes.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, great. But guess what? That play should have never happened. I'll fast forward a couple more years. Okay? Let's go to the Seahawks game. It's 1st and goal at the 1 with Marshawn Lynch and Russell Wilson. You throw a slant? Like a slant? Basically, my point is like those plays should have never have happened. Tom Brady should have never at least got 3 Super Bowls. And yet, when we go back to it, we just go, oh yeah, Tom Brady's the greatest. No, these were specific moments in time that could have been prevented. Yet for I don't know what arrogance, what reason, whatever got into Marlon McCree, Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson, Darrell Bevel, you know what I mean? Whatever the case, the referees, whatever the case may be, you know what I mean? Like they did it, and now Tom Brady has 6 Super Bowls under his belt. Atlanta, 28-3. We all know about it. I'm tired of talking about it. It's 20. I'm not even to say. Let's not get to 20-3. It's 28-12. It's 3rd and 1 at our own about 30-yard line. Okay. Ryan Schrader, our right tackle, is down with an injury. Alex Mack has been playing the whole game on a broken foot. Tevin Coleman goes down the play before on an injury. You have Devontae Freeman in there. You want to throw a play-action deep pass to end the New England Patriots when it's 28-12 with 8 minutes to go in the game. Everybody talks about the sacks that Matt Ryan took down in the red zone or on our side of on the Patriots side of the field. No, let's rewind before that. It's 28-12. They're down by 16. If you run the ball on 3rd and 1 and you don't get it, good. You waste 40 seconds off the clock. You punt the ball and make Tom Brady drive the length of the field, which, if you know, wouldn't have time to do so.
Sure.
He wouldn't have time to do so. They recovered the ball at the 25-yard line. A couple of plays later, they get in the end zone. They convert the 2-way conversion. Okay, great, 28-20. Then we talk about Matt Ryan taking a sack on the other side of the field. Let's talk about that. You're throwing the ball on 2nd down with Alex Mack on a broken foot. What does Bill Belichick know? Oh, shoot, Alex Mack's on a broken foot. Let's put our best pass rusher, Trey Flowers, over Alex Mack, and there's no way he's going to be able to block him. Guess what? Everybody talks about, Matt Ryan, you can't take that sack. Matt Ryan didn't have time to throw it anywhere else. If you watch that play, please, anybody, watch the 4th quarter of that Super Bowl and watch it as a football fan. There's no way he had time to get rid of that ball. Trey Flowers destroyed a broken-footed Alex Mack and was in Matt Ryan's face in no time. On top of that, the next play, Matt Ryan tries to get yardage back. What happens? They call a holding call on Jake Matthews to back him up another 10 yards, right? Another 10 yards back him up. On that same exact play, please watch Mohamed Sanu and I believe, I think it's Logan Ryan. I'm not 100% sure. One of those 2 cornerbacks. They're face masking each other. They're both face masking each other. Now, can you say, oh, Julio, they're both face masking each other? There's no way. Yeah, but by the letter of the law, you're supposed to throw flags on both players, which is offsetting penalties, replay it down. The referee turns a blind eye. The rest is history. You see what I'm saying? That's where I'm saying, like, there's 4 specific plays that I can tell you, like I said, whether it's arrogance, whether you can be like, oh, well, Julio, you know, sometimes some coaches over-try and Bill Belichick just does what he does. Okay, great. Absolutely. But we keep talking to Tom Brady like he's the greatest thing of all time when the ball obviously bounced his way more often than not. In the 2011, this is my thing. Obviously, I think Aaron Rodgers is the greatest of all time. We'll see if Patrick Mahomes can surpass him. He's the greatest I've ever seen.
I think he will.
It looks that way.
It looks that way, yeah.
In the 2011 NFL season, the Green Bay Packers had won the Super Bowl the prior year. Aaron Rodgers was incredible in the playoffs, running through the Falcons in the meanwhile. So let me tell you, as a Falcons fan who got destroyed in the 2010 NFL playoffs, okay? Yeah. Like, that hurt. But I saw Aaron Rodgers' greatness, and I'm like, this dude is disgusting. He's bad, okay? This is a bad dude. Yep. And then I went and saw him against Arizona Cardinals in the NFC Championship game, I believe. Yeah, because I believe he went through the Eagles, Falcons, Cardinals, and then in the Super Bowl was the Pittsburgh Steelers, if I remember correctly. And he went through these teams and just, it was unbelievable. Even Ryan Clark went ahead and said, there was nobody else that could beat us that Sunday if it wasn't Aaron Rodgers. The throws that he made were incredible.
Yeah, I saw that.
The following year, the Green Bay Packers go 15-1. Looked like they're just gonna run roughshod throughout the whole NFL. It looks like they were just gonna destroy everybody. They go 15-1. What happens? We get that cold weather game, which is Giants Packers in Lambeau. Okay, where the Packers receivers drop 8 passes. 8 by my count. That's not even official. By my count, it was 8 passes they dropped.
Yeah.
Okay? And all of a sudden, Eli Manning wins that game. Patrick Creighton drops a huge pass in the NFC Championship game with the Cowboys and Giants, right? And then the Giants go ahead and beat the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. This is my point. Like, okay, drops, part of the game. 8 drops, like 8 drops, and we count that against Aaron Rodgers, like, oh, he's only got 1 Super Bowl. Last I checked, he can't play defense and he can't play wide receiver. You know, all those cool videos that are coming out, all those TikToks of the kids throwing the ball over the roof, running through the house and catching it on the other side, it can't happen in the NFL.
No.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my problem with this talk about calling Tom Brady the greatest of all time just because he has 6 rings. Like, we're forgetting not minute details, I think are very important details when we talk about Tom Brady being the greatest. Like, how can we forget this? With other people, we quickly want to throw them under the bus and be like, he's got no Super Bowl rings. Oh, he's got 1 Super Bowl ring. Oh, he's only got this. He's only got that. Like, but this guy got 6, and nobody seems to remember why these people only have 0 or 1, and he has 6. Like, these plays matter.
Yes, they matter. But you also can't take away that, yes, those plays put him in that position, but a decent quarterback is not going to drive him down the field in the clutch moments. Michael Jordan, clutch. Kobe, clutch. Like, you got these players that are so clutch. So you get Tom Brady in a situation in the fourth quarter, overtime.
Nobody's saying he's not clutch. Is he the clutches?
He's the clutches, and he's also, I'm a big Tom Brady hater. I'm not a big fan of Tom Brady myself. I'm a Charger fan. We faced him so many times. We lost. But you know what? I see football as a whole, you know, when it's crunch time, when it's down to the fourth quarter and overtime, who's the better man? Who's the guy to do it? Tom Brady.
Nope. I'm not picking Tom.
Tom Brady.
I'm not picking
and
Tom.
that's why he has six rings.
I'm not picking Tom. And I'm not saying that because I'm a Tom Brady hater, but it's because I watch football for what it is. I'm not going by what the media is saying. I'm not going by the stats. I watch football with the eyes that I've been given by the good Lord, and I've been watching football for a long time, and I can tell you who's great, and who's surrounding cast makes him great. Like, let's just talk about his protection. You know what I mean? Like, his protection is outstanding, okay? Like, when have you seen Tom Brady really... The only times you've seen him is when he lost in the Super Bowl. Right. Is when his protection falls apart. Or when he lost to the Denver Broncos in the AFC Championship game because Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware were coming, okay? Like, that's the only time you've seen Tom Brady normal. And guess what? That's mostly every other quarterback's life that's not Drew Brees and Tom Brady. Because Sean Payton and Bill Belichick know, hey, if we protect these guys, we got a chance. You know what I'm trying to say? Other teams build differently. And yes, can we say that's their fault? Whatever. It could be the team's fault, but I don't think it should be blamed on Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Deshaun Watson. You name them, whatever the case may be.
So now, those guys are greater than Tom Brady.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm not saying Matt Ryan is. But if you ask me to pick players, if we had that lineup, remember back in school when you were team captain and you had to pick players?
Right.
Oh, heck yeah, I'm picking... Oh my gosh, at least 9-10 quarterbacks before Tom Brady? Easily. Easily. Well, look, I wouldn't even think twice about it.
I think this season, we're really going to find out this season.
No, you're not. What? How?
Because he doesn't have the Bill Belichick mindset or, how many years in New England?
Tom Brady's not stupid. Bruce Arians is an amazing coach. Like, Bruce Arians, this is what gets me. Like, Tom Brady's going to leave Bill Belichick and the Patriots tree. Bruce Arians is a brilliant coach. And then he goes, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, O.J. Howard, Cameron Brate. Oh, wait, let me call Gronkowski to come out of retirement. Bro, you think he's stupid, bro?
That's what I'm saying is that we're going to really see what he's all about.
How? Like, unless he's 40. The only thing is...
he's proven. He has a 6 Super Bowl ring, but we're over here comparing...
the only way... If you were to tell me...
Now, the offensive lineman... is not as strong.
But if you were to tell me, Tom Brady's going to the Chargers, and not their defense is outstanding, with that same offensive line that they have now, then I would be like, and if he did great wonders, don't get me wrong, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry, Austin Eckler are ballers. By the way, Tom Brady would excel with a running back like Austin Eckler because that's the kind of running back he wants.
Right.
That's like a James White
Even
on
Justin
steroids.
Jackson, I think.
Justin Jackson, of course. But that's my point. He's got the weapons even in LA Chargers. But my whole point is, like, my man's not dumb. He didn't go to, like, the Browns, right? Which even right now you can say has stupid weapons on them. So you can't even say anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, like, he picks his spot right. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he went to a team that's, like, semi-good. You know what I'm saying? And be like, all right, let me try with them. Like, he went to a team that he's like, damn, that team's loaded. Like, I don't even have to do much. As long as I don't throw 30 interceptions like Jameis did last year, we gonna win. Bruce Arians is a brilliant coach. I mean, look what he did with Indianapolis when Chuck Pagano went down with cancer. Look what he did with Pittsburgh. Look what he did with Arizona. Like, Bruce Arians is a heck of a coach. He's probably one of my top 5 coaches in the NFL, period. Okay? So, like, to me, for him to go down there to act like, oh, yeah, I'm away from Belichick. No. There's no question the reason why they split up is because Belichick wants to prove that he's great without Brady, and Brady wants to prove that he's great without Belichick. But what did Brady do in order to back himself up? It's like, all right, let me make sure I'm going to a good enough situation that hopefully I can win a Super Bowl before Bill does. And he did it right.
Yeah. That's okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
all right.
That's my whole point. Like, my whole point is, like, how are we going to really know how great he is if his supporting cast is great?
But why would you also put him in a really crappy team either?
I don't want to say crappy. I'm talking about, like, middle of the pack. Like, Tampa Bay's weapons are not middle of the pack.
Right.
They're elite. The problem is Jameis just had the tendency of throwing 30 interceptions. And all that, or he needed eye surgery, which we know he got in the offseason. You know what I mean? Like, whatever the case may be. Like,
but he also joined one of the toughest divisions in the NFL. It ain't the easiest.
Okay, that part I'll give him. Yeah, I'll give him
say,
that.
you know what? Let me go join this crap. Like in New England.
Or the AFC East, exactly. They were feasting on the Jets, Dolphins, and
so
Colts.
then Tampa Bay, decent team. And then you have the Saints, the Falcons, and the Panthers. It's not an easy walk in the park. Anyways, when it's all said and done, he's not the greatest quarterback of all time, in your opinion.
No. I mean, okay, and obviously this is like many arguments that you can have. At the end of the day, you have to define what you define by great. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
so
if
Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback of all time.
He's the greatest quarterback I've ever seen.
Okay.
You see what I'm trying to say? Now, I'm only 30. I'm 37 years old. I don't know too much. I mean, I watched, the videos, but I never got to watch film on the 1970s Pittsburgh Steelers or the 1970 Dallas Cowboys with Terry Bradshaw and Roger Staubach. I didn't get to watch too much of Joe Montana at the age that I'm at now. I watched him when I was younger. So I can't say, but as in talent-wise, cerebral-wise, accuracy-wise, arm strength, athletic ability, be able to diagnose things at the line of scrimmage, I've never seen anybody like Aaron Rodgers. Never. Now, Patrick Mahomes is the closest. And then Patrick Mahomes is like, hey, I'm not even reached the surface yet because I'm learning how to read defenses now. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, shoot, that's freaking scary. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I mean by, like, when I say greatest of all time, it's like, it's the greatest I've ever seen. It's wild throws. But not only wild throws, is he taking what the defense gives him, and then when there's nothing to be had, does he go and make that other play? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, does he go and make that extra play? And that's what I've seen from those guys, and I can literally say, wow, those guys are amazing. I literally seen a little video the other day, right?
Tom Brady, too.
No, that's what I'm saying. I literally see a video the other day of Tom Brady's pocket presence, which it is amazing. I'm not going to try to knock him. Excuse me, Tom. I'm not trying to knock you. But the funny thing is, I seen this little video, and somebody's like, "Oh, look at Tom Brady's amazing pocket presence." And I don't know if you've seen it. It's like the Jets. Like the Jets have no pass rush, and God knows how many since they traded John Abraham. Okay, back in the late 2000s. All right, and so mid 2000s. Excuse me. So this random New York Jet, probably like Jarvis Jenkins or something, or John Jenkins, comes around the corner, right, trying to sack Tom Brady. And he just almost taps him. And Tom Brady like steps up in the pocket and throws. And everybody's like, oh, look at this great pocket. The rest of the pocket was clean. The entire rest of the pocket was clean enough for him to step up. Have you seen Matt Ryan's pockets? Have you seen Deshaun Watson's pockets? Have you seen Russell Wilson's pockets? Have you seen, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
we're literally,
absolutely, yeah.
I'm talking about pockets crumbling in front of them, bro, where they can't even make a throw and they still make throws. I've never seen Tom Brady do it. I've never seen Tom Brady do it.
Right.
And he's been playing for 20-something years. And all the Patriots games that I have watched, I've never seen a pocket collapse. I'm talking about collapse like it does to Matt Ryan, like and all those other players I named, and they still have to make throws. And yet we knock them and say, "Oh, that dude's not clutch." Are you serious? Like, are you out of your mind? Like, don't come to me with stats, bro. And I know people say stats don't lie. Yes, stats lie. The eye in the sky don't lie. Okay, and that's what I'm talking about. Eye in the sky, film study, all 22. That's what I'm talking about. Let's watch the play develop. Or you've seen these pockets collapse, and you've seen these horrible offensive play callers, and it's got everybody running this simple route where the defenders have it all covered. And you're looking at that, and you're like, who came up with this play? Like, you're a professional getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars, and you come up with a play where everybody's covered because they're all running 4-yard curl routes? Like, are you out of your mind? Tell me that happens in New England. You're out of your gosh darn mind if a play like that happens in New England, bro. Like, Bill Belichick don't waste plays, bro. Like, that's what to me is like outstanding. Now, do I give Tom Brady credit for memorizing all of this? Do I give Tom Brady credit for going in, week out? Do I give him credit for, every offseason working on his craft? Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what I love about him because
it shows.
And it
shows.
The rings got nothing, dude. That got nothing to do with it.
At the end of the day, he has 6 Super Bowl rings, a bunch of Pro Bowls, some MVPs under his belt.
Pro Bowls are useless.
Who cares, bro? At the end of the day, it's all about
like
what
fans vote Pro Bowls.
Did you
what do they know?
What did you do individually? Like, let me see how many Super Bowl rings
in football.
have.
Individually,
let me see
individually, you can't, bro. This is not basketball, bro. This is not basketball.
At the end of the day, they will look at what you did.
Yeah.
And
idiots. Who looks at it?
Hey, he's gonna get a yellow jacket, bro. Easily.
No, man, I'm not ever gonna doubt that.
So I mean, he's
but
gonna get a yellow jacket
tired
for a
of
reason.
People that don't know what they're talking about, people that don't know what they're watching. You got people who they don't even specify in football. They specialize in sports. You can't watch every I can't even watch every NFL snap that happens in the NFL. And you get what? 16 games happen over a weekend on the NFL. You got all these college football games. You have all these basketball games, depending on the time of year that we're talking about. Let's say October, November, where basketball starting up, football's going on, college football's going on, hockey starting up, and then you got these guys on First Take or whatever the next morning commenting on a football game that there's no way you had time to watch if you had to watch all that other stuff. Who are you to say anything about football? You know what I'm trying to say? Yes, I'm a nobody too. I get it. I'm okay with that. But you know what? I have dedicated myself to football for the last so many years. I don't watch any other sport, okay? Like, football is what I watch. On the off season, I'm watching old football games. Is what I'm doing. And that's what I'm talking about. That's my whole point behind it.
And at the end of the day, the numbers don't lie.
They do.
No,
Sky in the sky don't.
No, they don't.
Huh?
Here's your numbers.
Yeah,
you're a numbers guy, man.
No, I am a numbers guy.
The numbers don't lie, right?
The book of Numbers is in the Bible. I get it.
Right,
but look, what I'm saying is, when it comes to football,
you're telling me you're gonna add all this up from Todd Gurley here, and you're gonna tell me he had a crappy season?
No, of course not. Because I know the jukes and the stiff arms and the hurdles that I made to get that. You know what I'm saying? But I also know the games where my offensive line didn't let him get touched. So, anyway.
We got to get going.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We got to get back to work. And
come on, real football fans. Speak up. Say what you feel. Tom Brady's not the greatest. If you're a real football fan, you would know that. Please.
All right. Take care, guys. Peace out.